So I reckon when it comes to trying new things, a lot of people have like anxieties about doing the thing. And for example, if you feel like you're lacking some of the foundational knowledge that comes with doing a new thing, what ends up happening is that plus the anxiety of trying the new thing leads to kind of self-doubt. And then when they try the thing and they have a negative experience, they're like, oh, I can't do this anymore. I'm just not going to try it next time. Ever since I started this YouTube channel, like I've had to learn a lot of new things, like learn how to record video, for example, learn how to light my video, to record audio, learn how to edit video. I've learned how to do a lot of different things. I've had to learn all these different things. I guess I just wanted to make a video on, I guess, the things that help me when I learn new skills. So obviously you can apply this to music skills. So if you're learning how to play the guitar or the piano or something, or learning how to produce, these are some of the tips and tricks that I would use to learn those skills. But really you can just apply this to anything that you want to learn. So I hope this helps you. When I was younger, I learned how to solve one of these, and I'm gonna mix them up. I want to use this as an example to illustrate what I think is a very important thing when it comes to learning something new, which is the concept of dividing and conquering. This is a very difficult problem. Like if you've ever picked it up for the first time and you have no idea what you're doing, like this is a huge thing to solve, and most people wouldn't be able to just solve it without any sort of help, right? With the help of the internet, I was able to learn a method of solving this cube called CFOP. And CFOP is an acronym that basically describes the 4 steps that you would use to solve a Rubik's Cube. What the method really does is it breaks up one big problem, which is solving a Rubik's Cube, and it breaks it up into 4 separate smaller problems that are actually easier to do by themselves. So if I were to solve this for you right now, and I promise you I'm not cheating here, I can mix it up even more right now if I wanted to. Like I could just, just follow the steps. So this is step 1. Okay, that's step 1. And then if I do step 2, that's step 2 done. Okay, and then that's step 3 almost done. And if I go step 4, we're completely done. So my suggestion to you, if you're learning how to do anything, it becomes much more manageable to learn something new if you break the problem up into smaller problems. So if you're learning how to play tennis, just learn how to hold the racket first, for example. That's one small problem. Then learn how to hit the ball. Then learn how to hit the ball on your backhand side, for example. If you're learning how to play guitar, learn how to play 1 chord, then learn how to play 2, then learn how to play 3. You don't have to learn every single chord on your first day. Does that make sense? The second thing I want to talk about is not something that I came up with. It's an idea that James Clear talks about in his book, Atomic Habits. Now, if you've never read the book Atomic Habits, you can go and listen to it or go read it. It's a good read. Like most people know what this book is. Basically, the main idea that the book sort of tries to get across is that little habits or little incremental changes accumulate over time. So getting good at something is not doing like a huge big change one day and then suddenly becoming good at something overnight, but it's about doing small little things that improve your skills as you go along. So a good example of this would be, say, something like a practice routine, right? So a lot of people, when they learn something, like if they're learning a new instrument, what they might do is that they will get really excited about learning something and then pick up the instrument, play for like 3 hours one day, and then lose gas for it, like for the rest of the week. So you're not building a habit that's sustainable. And so the idea of an atomic habit is to actually, like how we talked about it in the previous point, think about things in smaller bits. So like maybe don't practice 3 hours the first day, maybe just practice 10 minutes the first day, and then try and do 10 minutes for like a week, just 10 minutes. And then once you get good at doing 10 minutes, increase it to 15 minutes for the whole week, and then keep going until eventually you're practicing for long periods of time, and you're intentionally practicing stuff that you are trying to learn. Sustainable habits are what keep you going over a long period of time, and that's what actually helps you get better at something. So hopefully that makes sense, and you can find ways to sort of build good habits in whatever you're trying to learn. Be creative. So I've been trying to relearn how to speak Japanese because I used to live there when I was studying in university, and I want to go back at the end of the year. Hopefully, we'll see how things go. But so in the spirit of sort of atomic habits, I've been spending a lot of time trying to build habits every single day to learn the language as much as I can. So that means like Duolingo and like just looking at methods on how to learn phrases and things that I need. This sort of took me back to the time when I was actually studying there. Like I said, most people who lived in a different country that spoke a different language can relate to this. Like you actually pick up a lot of the language when you're immersed in the culture, and you have to use that stuff every single day. And I actually think that applies to more than just language learning. I think that's basically like every single skill. Like immersion is really important. So like with guitar, for example, like when I want to really improve and set my eyes on improving in guitar, I don't just practice for like, a block of time in a day. Like I could be listening to podcasts about music, podcasts about guitar playing. I could be watching YouTube videos. It doesn't even matter if it's like not something that I'm trying to specifically learn. Like it's not like if I'm trying to learn how to play arpeggios, I'm only watching videos and consuming content on arpeggios. It could be anything about music styles, music genres, music, listening to interviews of like famous musicians, like anything that I can do to immerse myself in music and guitar playing will help with my guitar playing. And again, like I believe that that's the same thing with basically anything. Try and immerse yourself in that thing as much as you can, like so that it really just becomes part of how you think. I think that just makes things so much easier down the track because you're subconsciously learning things as you're intentionally also building habits to learn the thing. Does that make sense? When I was in school and I had to prepare for an exam, I actually prepared by basically doing the exam. Like say, for example, if I had to sit a math exam, I would basically try and find all the exams from previous years and then try and do those so that I got used to what I needed to know. And oftentimes I found the main benefit of that was noticing where I got things wrong, because our brains are like that. We sort of tend to focus on what we did wrong as opposed to what we did right. Basically, it means that I actually get to learn what I did not know and then focus on learning the things that I did not know for the future, right? And so that brings me to my fourth point, which is a lot of learning is doing it. So I think a lot of people get scared of doing things and trying the thing. They can get all the head knowledge, they'll read all the books, they'll learn all the concepts, but when it comes to actually doing the thing, there's a bit of fear there because they're afraid, I won't be able to do it. I'm afraid I'm going to look bad in front of people. The reality of it is that unless you do the thing, you have no idea what you've absorbed, and you also don't have any idea of what you don't know. So you don't actually know where to improve next. So I actually think learning by doing is really important. Try the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. And that actually leads me into the next point, which is the idea of iteration. So if you work in corporate, you may or may not have done a retrospective at work. And what a retrospective really is that it's a chance for us to look back and reflect on what we've done. And basically think about, well, what did we do well with what we just did? And what can we do better for the future, right? I find we don't do that enough when we're learning new things. And I think when we are learning a new skill, like a musical instrument or anything like that, let's say, for example, like I filmed a music video, like on YouTube, right? Once I've done the thing, I've posted it online, right? It's important for me to then take a pause and then realize, hey, that was really cool. I actually did something new like this week. And then reflect on that as well. And then think about, okay, what can I do better for the next video that I make? So a lot of the earlier times that I did videos, I felt like the lighting was too dark. So then I got new lights, like the one that I'm using now, right? So something like that. It's a really practical thing that I can take and then go, yeah, this is an improvement I can make for next time. And then when I do the next video and the lighting's better, then I can ask myself the same two questions. What did I do well this time? And then what can I do better? So I think that's really important to do, because then we're intentionally thinking about and reflecting on what we've done, and we're rewarding ourselves and patting ourselves on the back when we do something new. That encourages us to keep going and to keep improving. Hopefully I can take a pause and think about what I did well in this video, and maybe you can tell me what I did well in the comments below. And maybe I can also think about what I could do better. Maybe the editing or something like that. But I guess, yeah, I'm trying to practice what I preach here. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you soon. See ya.